Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. It is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. On this episode, we are joined by Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. We are excited to have our co-host, Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast, a remarkable figure in the podcasting world, hailing from the Republic of Kenya. He has garnered 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the APBA. In addition, he also has been nominated for Best Blog by the Texas Creator Awards and a featured presenter at the Afros Audio Podcast Festival in 2023 and participated at the 2025 Podfest. Welcome, Sambaza.
Hey, welcome, Jen.
Hey.
Hey, by the way, everything okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Live on TikTok, and we're also live on Clubhouse, and we're on the East African Excellence House, and we got a great topic today.
Excellent. Thank you for connecting us on the additional platforms. So you can tap in with us on YouTube, obviously, and the audio version, which will be available pretty soon, as well as on TikTok and on the Clubhouse. If we still got folks who love the Clubhouse audio app, you can find our broadcast there as well. So we appreciate the ones who tap in with us on the multiple platforms, and we appreciate that. We do have a great topic and a guest. It's been a little minute since we had a guest, so we're excited to have a guest and interesting topic that we need to discuss in our community. But before we begin, why don't you share
our affirmation of the week? So our affirmation says, I give myself permission to create boundaries with family. I repeat again. I give myself permission to create boundaries with family.
Okay.
Heavy.
Thank you for sharing that. Any thoughts about the affirmation before you go on, or?
Those thoughts are heavy. It's yeah, I mean, you should give yourself permission at times to create those boundaries, because at the end of it, it creates those healthy boundaries, and they know where you're at in your mind and your life. Because
I agree.
Child, sometimes you look at your family and you look at your cousins and nephews, and it's kind of in you. You've seen them grow up, and you're like, oh, they're still young, and yet they have their own responsibilities. So when they create those boundaries, it kind of tells them that it kind of tells you or tells the rest of the family, like, hey, it's this is me right now. Just respect me as I am, not that little child.
I get that. I mean, in my case, it would be like more siblings, more so than cousins, because I'm not really close with cousins in my instance. But yeah, you definitely set boundaries in all relationships. I think that's a good message to share. So thank you for sharing that. We'd like to continue the tradition of sharing a positive affirmation. So we will continue to do so in light of Minority Mental Health Month. So we're glad that you shared that. All right.
Okay. So our guest today, I think we're doing Suicide Prevention Month. So I would like you to bring the guest, and we're going to talk about our guest today. I think
Sure.
It's one of the great topics we always get in and out of, but I think it's very important to highlight this issue, as it's one that's in our communities, and it really hits us hard, especially in the African American communities. So yeah, over to you. Yeah.
Yes. So, as Sambaza shared, our topic today will be suicide prevention awareness. We're approaching Suicide Awareness Month, and we also are well into Minority Mental Health Month. And so, in light of these awareness themes, we definitely want to have this conversation. And so, specifically, our theme is breaking the silence, suicide prevention in our community. And so we do have a licensed counselor who has joined us before. So at this time, we will introduce her. So we are excited to welcome back our licensed mental health counselor and good friend, the owner of Grow, Empower, Transform Therapy, LLC. She brings a wealth of experience and a deep commitment to mental health, specializing in critical areas such as domestic violence, coping skills, and grief. Through her practice, she has touched the lives of many, guiding individuals through some of life's most challenging moments. So we are so excited for our guest to offer her expertise, offer invaluable insight into how we can support those who have been impacted. So with that being said, we are excited to introduce Denise D. Moore.
Hey family. Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love that affirmation, Sambaza. I was like, ooh, go ahead and put them boundaries up with your family and stand on business as the people say. And yeah. But just remember, no matter their reaction, they will continue breathing.
Yep. Absolutely.
Sometimes we forget that.
Right.
All right. Now, Denise, we usually take a tour of Africa. The reason why we're trying to look for African proverbs. And this time I went to the country called Sao Tome and Principe. It's a country. It's one of the second smallest and second least populous African sovereign state after Seychelles. Now, 3 fun facts about it. That one, they don't have a military. The country has no military, and therefore it relies on Portugal for its defense.
Okay.
It's called the Chocolate Island because cocoa is a major export, and the island is known for the premium cocoa production. And it also has a unique biodiversity. Sao Tome and Principe is nicknamed the African Galapagos. The two, due to its high number of endemic species found nowhere else on Earth. So it has this high element of species that some are also being discovered at a time. So the proverb from that country says, "Do not blame God for having created the tiger, but thank him for not having given it wings." What can you decipher on that particular proverb?
So don't blame God for
yes. Let me repeat it again.
Okay.
Don't blame God for having created the tiger, but thank him for not having given it wings.
So how probably with the wings, that tiger can just fly and get you at any moment in time. But since he don't have wings, the tiger will definitely have to get tired and will stop chasing you. I'm guessing. That kind of reminds me of like this Bible scripture that says, "No weapon formed against me will prosper." So the weapon may be there in form, but it's not going to prosper.
Oh, great!
True. It's like you let your faith, lead you, and don't let that fear overcome you. That there's a tiger out there that's going to get me. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I'll run it because it don't have wings.
I like that. That means we will always be there, having issues around us, but we just have to thank thank God or thank whoever you aspire to for having us there and be able to conquer them, be it in prayer, in how your mental state is, and everything else. So it is great. I like the way you said it. So thank you for that. And our topic today is the mental health. It's about mental health and suicide awareness. And I'm just going to read a few statistics here. Suicide rates for Black youth rose 36.6% between 2018 to 2021. Only 1 in 3 Black Americans who need mental health care receive it. African American adolescents are more likely to attempt suicide than their white peers. There's a growing shortage of Black mental health professionals. They represent less than 4% of the psychologists nationwide. So here's my question to you. Having gone through all those statistics, what are some of the most pressing mental health concerns you are seeing in the Black community, especially amongst the youth?
I just want to go back to that statistic that you stated, and it rose 6%, I believe you said, between 2018 and 2021. We also went through the COVID pandemic as well during that time too. So that may have something to do with it, with the rise in it also. And just with, suicide is a stigma in our community. Mental health is a stigma in our community. Still, even though we do make up 4% of that, and that's still a small number in a minority. So even when I am out in the community and I'm speaking on mental health and just advocating for mental health and wellness, there's still a stigma. People are still asking questions about it, still unsure. There are a lot of individuals who engage in therapy, who love therapy, and who advocate for therapy also. But some of the reasons I would say that I see among the youth today, they have a lot of depression today. They have a lot of anxiety today. That's what a lot of times what they're coming in for therapy. They're not feeling supported, by their family and friends. We still have what happens in the house stays in the house. So we're not open to sharing and or talking about what's going on outside of the home, so they can get the help and support that they need.
Was this a past trauma? Because when you say that what happens in the home stays in the home, I think this is where they learn. Parents, the parents have this experience and the great grandparents have this experience. It also amounts to the medicine part where they're told don't trust the doctors, or don't trust people who you don't know, especially the white people. And having done that, it is brought down to the kids. What happens in the home stays in the home, to where now when they feel like they want to say something out there about what they feel, or how their feelings are to the rest of the world, or how they're being treated with the rest of the world, it becomes a problem. Do you think that's generational?
Yes, it's definitely generational. History has shown us in this country, I don't know about other countries, in this country, when we did advocate and ask for help, we weren't treated fairly or equal. It was illegal for us to be homeless. It was legal for the women to be stay-at-home moms. We had to work. There was laws against us due to the color of our skin. And so asking for help outside of the home meant that maybe we need to come and take some people out of your home. And so that's when the father was asked to leave the home. They may take the children. And it just was not a positive experience for the Black Americans here in this country. So we're going to keep quiet and we're not going to say anything. And another reason for that adage is I don't even know how to explain it myself. Yeah. Or it may be embarrassing. It could be fear. It's definitely a lack of knowledge, lack of support. I'm not sure where to go to get the help either. Or, Uncle James also died by suicide. If we don't talk about it, you may not want to do it. Not knowing if we don't talk about it and you know that, well, he did it, I can do it too.
You in the statistic that mentioned the increase during the 2018 and 2021, that was COVID, and that was really traumatic. I mean, I guess we went through it, but to young people, their whole normalcy and routines were changed. They didn't go in the classroom. They didn't have, the time with their friends. Their whole routine was completely changed.
Correct. I was working in a school then.
Mhm.
And so coming to the schools, many children were able to eat meals. Many children were able to speak to me, the counselor, and or other teachers. They were able to get clean clothes. It was a relief from their homes and what was happening inside the homes. And people were healthy. When COVID came, we had families dying. Parents were dying depending on their health. If you were a lot of people in the medical field were just dying by suicide themselves because of everything that was happening. They weren't graduating from school. They weren't
Mhm.
having the socializations that they needed. There
Right.
was financial problems and issues because of jobs are closing and not paying the rent. There was an increase in alcoholism and probably drug use or domestic violence,
Mm.
amongst the parents. There was a lot of things. It was a lot going on because we've never been through a pandemic before because we weren't
Right.
here when the Spanish flu was. We wasn't here. So now
Right.
I was like, this is it. And so we were forced to watch hundreds of people, thousands of people die because
We
from
did.
COVID.
Mm.
Also, woke by accident was formed during that time
Mhm.
because of the social injustice that was happening against Black individuals. So we were able to sit down and see this on TV.
Right.
We had nothing but time and trauma.
Right.
And
So,
so
I mean, it just kind of puts things in perspective that, everyone doesn't have the, ability or the strength to endure that type of stress, because like you said, some children didn't have, a decent meal or, didn't like school is where they would get their meals, and then that was shifted and changed. I mean,
right.
some organizations and libraries stepped up and start offering it to children during that time, but there's a lot of still people impacted.
Yes, it was. A lot of people became homeless. It was a
Hmm.
lot that happened. So
Hmm.
that when that sparked my attention when you mentioned that and
Mhm.
mentioned a year, and I'm like, oh, we had COVID. A lot of people forget we had
Yeah,
COVID. COVID was here.
So
definitely.
I have a question with regard to lack of access to Black therapists and
Mm-hmm.
culturally aware providers. What I'm noticing, and this has been as I go around, the pastor, the church, the Black church, usually has a way of providing comfort and also guidance to the youth and also to the people out there. When we say lack of access, do you think that it's the professional access to therapists that they lack, or are we looking at the ones that are available, like tertiary? I'd call them tertiary therapists, because they're not like the professional. Even though some of the pastors now have become or whatever have become aware of being therapists and are therapists. I know one who we try to bring to the show, but needless to say, does the church have any role to play thereby? Even though we're missing them in terms of the professional light, there are still others on the side, as the church being guided by the Bible and I'm sorry, the Bible, the Qurans, and whatever we have that we use to subscribe to.
Hmm.
Okay, I could speak on the Bible because I'm not too familiar with the Qurans and the others. So the church was used as like you said, a way to provide comfort. It was a safe haven. So if your family was in trouble, you were able to go to church. Years ago, churches were funded by the city and or the state. So whatever money the church brought in, they were able to help and take care of the family. And so for us, it became just that hub of I can go there and it's trusted there.
Hmm.
There's also a stigma of praying it away and then going out of the church to seek a therapist. It wasn't of God, and so illness was of Satan. So not many Black individuals were going out to become therapists and or social workers. So
Right.
you have that, and you have that. So now you have a shifting of pastors who are allowing therapists to come in and teach. I have a speaking engagement next month to go to a church actually and speak. And so now you have that's happening. And now you do have pastors that are therapists as well. And so they have that understanding. You have pastors that I will call me or other people that they know, it's like, hey, we need some assistance here. I can do, the Christ-based therapy, but they need therapy. Like they need mental health, illness therapy, help. And so you have the pastor that will just break that stigma and say it is okay to go and see a therapist. Like it's all right. We're not going to tell your, not all of us will tell your business out in the streets. We're not just going to put the grippy socks on you and have you locked up when you first come and say hi. Like, oh man, I just don't feel like being here today because I'm having so many issues and my head hurts. Just as an example, we are still out here in our community striving to convince our people to come, and that's okay. And so what I found is that there's a book called The Garden Within, and I forgot her name, but I'll find her name. She's also a minister and a therapist, because as I study the Bible and what we teach and some therapeutic modalities, it goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
It goes hand in hand. So for me, I can't have one without the other. And so that's what we're learning. And so, and if we believe the Bible and we believe that God has given us these gifts, then he's given us this gift as also, just like he's given a gift to the doctors, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Dr. Anita Phillips, and she wrote the book, The Garden Within. And there are also other faith-based ministers that are therapists as well. And we're linking the two together just to bring awareness to individuals that, yes, you can trust us, you can come and speak to us, and we're here to help you heal on that journey. And we love what we do. I love it.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you provide that in merging and collaborating with the faith piece too, because that's so important to help people who are, feeling down and need, guidance in that way. So.
Absolutely. And then so that, and speaking with the church before, we spoke about, dying by suicide, because it's dying by suicide now. And that came up. And so gone are the days of, if you talk about it, the children will do it. But the children are doing it and we're not talking about it.
Right.
So we have to provide that open space for the children to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was this thing that was being said before that I had read about, or it was talked about a piece that for young adults or young kids that's up to a certain age, when they do it, they'll do it to the point where, like, for example, whatever, if they ingest something or they do something, it's just to the point of not going overboard, just a little bit, so that you get to be told what it is, right? There's something going on wrong. Past a certain age, when they're doing it, oh no, this is the end. They've made up their minds and it's gone. They're gonna do it all the way to the end. Are you able to speak on that?
So they're just doing it because they don't know what's going to take them out or not. We have 10-year-olds that's hanging themselves from being bullied at school. So the youth are just doing it. The conversations aren't being had. I know I had that conversation with my daughter, and I went through every scenario. When I said every scenario, y'all, I got down and dirty with the scenarios. If this, and I kept going on, and she was like, "Wow, Mom." It's like it is not a reason. It's going to be hard and difficult, but that's not a reason. I just want you to always know you can come and talk to me or someone else. Like to have it. Now, growing up, I couldn't talk to my parents because it was considered talking back. Like it was unheard of. Like, when you said putting boundaries with your family, that's unheard of. What are you doing? So it is okay, parents and guardians and elders, it's okay to have the children come and speak to you. You want to know what they're doing. You want to know what they're thinking. You want to be in their business. You want to know what's on their phone, what they're looking at. Are they making any suicide pacts? You want to know, are they being bullied in school? You want to be nosy. You want to know who are you playing on the games with? You really want to know.
Right.
My daughter is 24. I was all in her business
Mm-hmm.
when she was younger because I needed to know. I needed to, you know, teach her and correct her and her friends so they can have that understanding.
Denise, you mentioned suicide pacts and, teenagers and the young people. It made me think about a show on Netflix where one of the characters, she's in high school. I think it's Jenny in Georgia and Jenny. I don't know if you've seen that one on, but they get into the topic of self-harm with teenage, she's dealing with all this stress, the friends turn on her and she's just going through like those teenage, pains, that a lot of, and I feel like this is really relatable. Like, you have a group of friends and then something happens, a rumor gets spread, they turn on the one girl and she's self-harming herself. And so, can you speak to the self-harm? Is that tied to suicide manners or, behaviors?
I will say this to low occurrence from what I've seen and among my peers. The self-harm is a form of releasing.
Okay.
It's a form of grounding for some individuals and a form of releasing. To us, we sit here like, so you have to cut yourself to bleed so you can just release and just know that you're here in reality and to ground. And so, like, you couldn't go,
but it's not a healthy behavior. So
go outside, like, we could do some other grounding techniques that you don't have to.
Right. However, it's definitely not a healthy behavior, correct?
Correct. And because they don't know, that is the reason. That's the reason for it to happen. Hence, that's why some individuals, when they become older, they have tattoos because to cover up a lot of the scars, or that's a way for them to deal with that. So we call that emotion dysregulation because they don't have control over their emotions. So the emotions is everywhere. And so if they had an outlet of how to express themselves, how to talk, how to just release that. My colleagues today was trying to work with a young man to have like a scream meditation, because sometimes it is pent up in you and you may need to scream it out. Meditation isn't always peaceful. Sometimes you got to scream it out. And so we do a lot of holistic things as well as talk therapy. And that's something else that a lot of adults or parents may not know of. We use a lot of holistic approaches. It's not just medication and just therapy. It's also holistic things that's out there that you can engage in along with your children. And if the children don't have the words, to express themselves, then they may self-harm.
All right. We're going to take a pause. And Denise, I'd like you to give us that number for suicide prevention. You're going to say that ad. No, you're going to say that ad. If you feel or whatever, now this is your turn.
A little commercial. If you or someone you know are feeling suicidal, like you want to harm yourself and you really do not want to be on this earth anymore, please call 988. You can also text 988 and someone will call you back or they will text you back. And there a few years ago, it's a true story, when my cousin deleted himself, we had no idea. We didn't know he was going through anything. We just got the call. This is what he did. And that was it, something we had to accept. I put that call out. I was like, hey, everybody, here's this number, 988. Now, me and my cousin spoke. We talked a lot, but never said anything. I had no idea that's what his plans were. And one of my friends said, I called that number because I was just about to do that. You're about to do what, honey? Because it was just been like, what's going on? But because we never know what someone is going through
right
at all. So you can text 988, you can call 988, and they will talk to you.
Yeah, day or night, anytime.
Anytime. It is 24 hours a day.
All right.
24 hours a day.
All right, so guys, I've heard that, and I'm gonna go ask you this because this is also one of the things that is a hindrance to people. Actually, it's not even to youth; it's or everybody else. The mindset of seeking help looked at weakness. Whenever somebody says, "I'm going to go through therapy," people will start looking at you as lesser of a man, we're not going to go deal with men now. We're going to go in general, lesser of a person. when you
Mhm.
talk about going to seek therapy. Now,
Mhm.
I'll be honest. Me as an African, uh, I do have that problem. But having stayed here for a while, I have come to understand that it is important. I see where the 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 benefits are in order to be able to conquer this world. There's so many things that can come around you, and within no time you can get stressed out. So you may need
Mhm.
that place to be able to assist you and be able to guide you to be able to let out your frustrations
Mhm.
and explain yourself, and then somebody can solve their problems. Now, if you'd have asked me 20 years ago about it, I would have told you, no, that's not African, that's not us. But I'm glad, having stayed here for a while, I'm able to understand and be able to appreciate the fact that it is necessary at times, not at times, at all the times if you need that. And I do want to thank you for, uh, taking it up as a profession and something that you are helping out the people like us with the same shade of color, to be able to see that it's out there and we have someone like you. Because also there's that idea of, if you don't see someone who is your color that you can go talk to, then you still have that like the fear of, am I able to express myself to this person? They may not understand where I'm coming from. So that's on my part. Maybe you can talk about other people, or what you have seen, or maybe conversations you've had with other people who look at that seeking help as seen as a way of weakness.
Absolutely. It is seen as a way of weakness for some individuals. And like oh, I can't do it myself. I'm supposed to be strong and have the should put together. I should be able to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And the reality is, we weren't meant to go through trauma. We weren't meant to go through so much adversity and then learn how to come out of that, or be resilient, as people like to say. I don't really like that word, but because you have to go through something and come, I'm resilient now. And it is definitely seen as a weakness. And when people look at therapy, and it's like, I'm not crazy. No, you don't have to be crazy, and you don't have to have a major issue to come and speak to us. You could just need some guidance. You could just need some more assistance, coping skills. Come get a mental health checkup. I just want to know, is this what's going on with me? Let's find out. First, go to your doctor, and I need you to run these tests and talk to your doctor about this first, because it could be something medical and you may not need their services. Or you could just want to check up just a couple times a month or a year, just to make sure you're still on the right path, and some encouragement. We got you for that too. You want some healing? We have you for that too. But yes, it is still seen as a weakness. So it's seen as a weakness. And so what I've seen was, when I was over in Kenya and Tanzania and Zanzibar, there were, it's called psychologists. So there
You
were,
that again?
yeah, yep, yes, I was over there.
Nah.
Remember?
Yes.
No.
I remember when you said you were going. I remember that.
Yeah, it's
When was that?
2023, I think. Yeah, I think 2023. I was there.
Okay.
I was there. It was like 2 weeks, and people thought I was never coming back. Like, I came back. I mean, however, the profession is over there also, and it is highly respected. And then just talking to one of the therapists over there was great. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. So it is in other countries, and I don't know if it has that stigma in a lot of other countries like it has here, but it's definitely still a stigma here, and it's still seen as a weakness. Now, more and more people are accepting therapy, but they do want us to do it for free though. I don't know. I don't know how we can get paid. You know, therapy should be free.
But you can use working folks can use their EAP. You've shared that before.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can use your EAP. So if you are working, if you are employed, it's the Employee Assistance Program.
Mhm.
Ask your HR department about that, and they will be able to let you know how to access that. There's low cost therapy. There's Open Path Collective. Low cost therapy services. Therapists are on there. I'm also on there. You go on there, you sign up for it, you pay a one-time fee, and you can see a therapist at low cost there. There's also therapy. No, I'm sorry. There's also Black Men Heal. So they offer 8 free sessions to any Black man in the United States, depending on what state that you're in. I don't know if they're in every single state. Here, I'm in Tampa, Florida. There's a free health insurance that individuals can apply for, and they're able to, to have services. And in your local areas, there are places where therapy is low cost and probably free. So that's something to look into. I do have resources that I can send you guys after the show. So if you want to post that, you can. And I believe it's in all states, maybe the resources. And so you can take a look at it, and people can know where they can go for therapy.
Awesome. Go ahead.
We did that health thing the other day, mental health. There's a church in Dallas. They all I forgot to bring the book here to show guys, but they always bring a speaker, and once a year they'll have a mental health symposium. And this time they brought up a bit more vendors from the church. I'll put the notes in the chat so that guys can see it in the show notes, so that guys can see which church it was. And there's a lady who actually comes to speak. This is the second time, and she has this lovely book. She talks about why men cry. Actually, you have this lovely thing that you do on Facebook. I think it's therapy. It's something therapy. What?
Oh, Ask a Therapist Monday. Okay.
Ask a Therapist Monday. Yeah. Monday Blues and Ask a Therapist on Monday. Okay.
Ask a Therapist Monday. So I created a group for it. So I have a group that's called Ask a Therapist Monday, and you can post your questions anonymously, because what I found is that people were inboxing me questions and I would post it. And so the suggestion was made, didn't you just create a group? And so people can go into the group and, ask the question anonymously, and we'll answer. And some people are just in the group, and they'll say, hey, I'm so glad I came to the group because it really helped me a lot. So what I try to do is I try to answer the questions, and there's other therapists in the group, and other people will share their knowledge in the group also, which is great. And that's what the group is designed for. So if you have a question that you want a therapist to answer, it's okay. And if I don't know the answer, I will say, I'm not sure. This is what I believe. Hey, let me find out about this, because I'm wrong also. And if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. Denise, you don't have to correct. So I created that, and I love it. And people come, they ask questions, and I work diligently on answering those questions, or the other therapists in the group will work really hard on answering those questions too, and providing that guidance and insight. And if you want to present your question anonymously, go ahead and do it. We're still going to ask.
And you're doing it for free.
Yeah, that's for free.
That's awesome.
On Facebook, that's for free.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you want to acknowledge our chat.
Yeah, well, I have one more question.
Okay.
Oh, let's go to the chat and then come back. Now we have Ed Campbell, and Ed Campbell says, "Peace and gratitude, family. Welcome to the show, Ed."
Hey, Ed, welcome.
Glad to have you always supporting the show. And anyone else who is right now listening or watching on Clubhouse, or if you're on TikTok Live, yep, we have guys over there listening and watching. So, Jen, back to the question. On this Ask a Therapy Mondays, how has the impact been, or how have you seen the impact from the time you started till now? What are the changes you may have seen coming off of that group?
Oh, well, I don't have it on my page anymore. I close the comments because I want people to go to the group so they can ask it anonymously. So I've seen I seen a slowdown in that. However, it's still impacting people that I didn't really know was paying attention until I'll get the call like, hey, I really like that. Ask, because I was in there and I was checking it out. Oh, okay, cool. I'm so glad. Come on in, drop in and ask a question or give a comment and provide some feedback. I'm happy that I did it because
Mhm.
it's another just added piece and resource that individuals can use.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
That's
Love it.
really awesome. Jen, do you have a question?
Yeah, and so you mentioned that you do some local activities with the counseling community. Share about what you have coming up.
So what I have coming up, that's going to be September 6th, I believe. I have the date right, but I don't. We are doing another workshop, and that workshop is the father and daughter relationship workshop. Now, this is our second year doing it, so I really love that, and it's for free. So fathers and daughters of all ages, bring the whole family. It's for free, and we talk about how to have a healing relationship, how to have a healthy relationship, and how to communicate within that relationship. Because something that we're seeing is that communication is not this is not the same.
Mm.
The knowledge is not being passed down like it used to be passed down or as it should be passed down. And so when that knowledge isn't passed down from the elders in the family to the youth in the family, they go astray. They don't have the family values. They don't know the family structure or the family system or the family beliefs. So that's great to have. And our final one, that's going to be on October 2nd, I believe. It's our mother and son, and we're doing the same thing, and that's our second annual mother and son one as well. We want people to come and get healed. We want people to come and ask those questions and ask a therapist, like we do an Ask a Therapist Monday. We
Mhm.
want your connections and relationships to be really good. We want them to heal. We want them to be better. We want our next generation to be better. And so that's
Absolutely.
why we're here and we're doing this event.
So
Nice. And, go ahead.
I have a question regarding what you're doing with the
Mhm.
father and daughter, and then mother and son, right?
Yes.
This is the second time you're doing it.
Hmm.
Uh, how was the experience the first time when you did that, and what values have people received or feedback that you've received from the first to whereby you said, you know what, we're gonna do it again this year, and has there been an uptick of participants, or we don't yet know, or it still looks like there's probably going to be an uptick because the first time people are usually curious, the second time they know what they're getting into because now you have a blueprint to work on.
Hmm.
Can you explain about those the progression and how it'll be of value to the people who haven't yet registered to come in, or who are on the fence thinking about, hey, I don't know what I'm going to get out of this.
Absolutely. So it varies from the first time we did it until the second time we did it. We never know who's going to show up.
Right.
The events are always free,
Mhm.
and we put it on Eventbrite. Oh man, 18 people signed up. They 6 people came. And so someone did give me some feedback about having just a system to remind people that the event is coming up. I said,
Mm.
okay, I can do that because I was looking at their Eventbrite emails.
Mhm.
However, the feedback is the same. I didn't know I needed this. I'm so glad I came. I had no idea you were doing this, and you doing this for free, and you have food free, and we have food, and we have speakers who are knowledgeable in that area and can give their expertise. We have wisdom and knowledge that comes into the room. Like when you have the elders bringing in their wisdom, like we're just sitting there, we're eating it up because like these are the things that we never knew. These are the things that we wanted someone to tell us. And
Mhm.
so a lot of forgiveness happens because we can look
Mm.
back, at our parents in a generation, like our parents didn't know to tell us these things. So there's a
Mm.
forgiveness that, to happen. So
Right.
now we know. And so now we can tell the younger generation after us. So the feedback has always been positive. The feedback has been also, will you do it in a different county? So I have to talk to the team about that as well because we're based in Tampa, Florida, so we do it in Tampa.
Right.
But other counties are looking for that too, so we have to talk about that and plan that.
Oh,
We're
Okay.
excited about that.
Good.
so it looks like it's going to be something that may expand in the future to other counties and become bigger than what it is. But I like the way you're starting off with, and to me, when you get to the second one, I think you're on a bit of cruise control because you have already a template. and then all you're doing is adding in where you need to fill in and the fillers, and then make it bigger and better. So I'll congratulate you for that, and I'm going to also
Yeah.
congratulate you in
Thank
advance for the second one that's coming up. Now, I think there's this question about the local community mental health centers.
Okay.
How would they impact us if we had them in abundance? And
Hmm.
do you notice them being around the local area, or are they easily accessible? Because one thing is, just like the way, Jen, I know you remember this, or you know about this, food deserts. Do
Mm,
we have now, can we call them mental health center deserts, whereby to get to a mental health center will be so far out that it wouldn't make sense for somebody to get the help that they need? I know there's a number to call, but sometimes just to talk to a human being makes another kind of difference.
mhm.
Can you speak on that?
So there are mental health centers here in Tampa, Florida, that don't always have culturally aware therapists there, or it may be difficult to see a therapist, or they may not accept your insurance. So while we do have them, they're not always accessible for our community
Right.
like that. I've even had individuals come to see me or any of my clinicians or colleagues to say, I was seeing a person and they dismissed me, was upset at me. I had the children come in and say, are you going to yell at me? Yelling at you for what? Because my last therapist yelled at me. And so I have to keep the straight face while my mind has this, you know, you know? And it's like, no, honey, I don't, we don't do that here. We sit and we listen and we talk. We have people that come and say, oh, I saw your hair. And I was like, oh man, she got hair like mine. I can go and see her. Yeah. And it is these little things that will make them feel comfortable to come in to see a therapist. And
Yeah.
as we're talking and we're explaining and I can understand, like, oh, okay, I'm understanding. This is what you're saying. Yes, you know how many times I had to explain it to the last understood. So while they are there, Sambaza, they may not have the individuals culturally present to work with the community and the population. And can we use more of them? Absolutely. We can definitely use more of them because, like you say, like they're food deserts. I mean, there's a lot of liquor stores around, just like there's no shortage of liquor stores everywhere, anywhere
Right.
at all. But there's a shortage of grocery stores, shortage of mental health assistance. Like, I think Florida was low on the list of mental health resources in that state. I know there's a stat out there somewhere. I know we weren't too high on the list.
Hmm.
Did you have any question?
So I just wanted to reframe our conversation since you do have it in multiple platforms, since people may have joined in later. We are with Sambaza Podcast and Denise D. Moore, who is a licensed mental health counselor, and she has joined us again. We've had her on several times. We encourage you to check out her previous appearance on our show, and we're just so glad that we're having this conversation. Our theme for today is breaking the silence, suicide prevention in our community, and just talking about some of the trends. We started out with some statistics about how suicide is, one of the leading causes of death in our Black youth. This is, something that is really, shown up in our community in a major way. And so we just want to have these conversations about, dealing with this and what, youth are experiencing. So I just want to frame that. If you want to look at comments and
Yeah. Now Ed Campbell says community gardens are essential. We have one huge one in
Mhm.
my community where we can purchase fresh produce, and many can work and also learn how to grow vegetables, etc. It's a great solution. And I think I can tie this with also therapy, because if you
Yes,
have the youth coming in there and they
yes,
get to experience that, it may calm them down, learn how to I think that there's this sense, and I do have it, the sense of pride when you plant something from a seed to then you get a bushel of corn, and then you can go sit down and eat it. There is some satisfaction in that. And even though we may not have these big old farms that are out there, like in Idaho and Iowa and whatever, just having a small patch and you can put in some tomatoes and grow and then pick those tomatoes and go cut them and make a meal out of it and eat. I think there's that sense of satisfaction from that. And I appreciate you, Ed Campbell, for saying that, because those are part of the options that kids can have to get them out, instead of going to do other things that would stress them out. Just, kind of encourage them, go do this. You don't have to go play sports. You can do gardening and also relieve yourself off of the stress. And like I say, it's more calming. Even planting flowers is more calming. I have a question regarding. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say absolutely. Thank you, Ed, for that. There's an area in St. Petersburg, Florida. It's not far from me. They have a St. Pete youth farm. So the youth are out there gardening and on the farm. So it's a great farm to table activity for them to engage in. And like you said, we also have horses. And also it's we heal in community. We heal in community. Like, we're not always meant to heal alone. So we heal in community. So a lot of times we'll have a holistic approach. And we may say, hey, go, see, also seeing a therapist. We want you to see a psych doctor. We want you to maybe see a coach. There's sound healing. There's also yoga. What type of physical activity are you doing? We're looking at your diet that you're eating. Are you getting outside into the sun? Who's in your support system and who can hold you accountable as well? We heal in community. There's community resources. There's art groups out there. There's so much out there that we can engage in because we heal in community.
Definitely.
And the schools, because most of the youths that we have are going to be in our local in your local school. Do they have enough? Because there's the part of correction, and there's guidance, and the therapy aspect of it. These three things, I think, can be misconstrued at times when you're trying to guide them and then you punish them for something that could have been brought up to the attention of a therapist. I know also kids have fear that when they do something and then their parents are called in, then and I'll refer to us. We'll be like, don't get me called to your school because I gotta work. I mean, you made me come from work. How does that play in to kids?
Correct. So there is a fear when the kids something happens in school, whether it's good or bad, whether it's a mental health issue or not, and the parents is called, and so then the parents will have to go in and and regulate that situation or what's happening. A lot of adults aren't aware of what mental health looks like in children. They're not paying attention to the signs. They're not paying attention to, like, is this anger because they're really angry? Is it anger because they don't know how to express something? Children will isolate, will withdraw, have a lot of guilt and shame, or become overwhelmed or feeling like a burden. And so they won't speak. Or if you're not noticing a change in grades or change in grades, we have change in behaviors also. And it's just wanting to spend more time with one of the adults in the school or less time, depending on what's happening. Some schools do have behavior cards because they want to praise that positive behaviors. I know we had that when I worked at the school. And then we say, okay, so I know you got a good report on Monday and Wednesday. Oh, what happened on Tuesday? This is what happened on Tuesday. This is what I said. And then I apologize if I knew that wasn't right. And so I'm learning or working through. And so we're able to have that dialogue. And so we're able to teach. And so in the schools, I know they have a school psychologist at times and a school social worker and a school guidance counselor. And so one of them will be able to sit with that student if they're aware and speak to that student and see what's happening with that student mentally. And there's also a class that people could take. And I believe the class is free. It's called Mental Health First Aid. And so anyone can take that class to be more aware of what mental health symptoms look like in themselves, in their family members, or amongst their peers. And it will teach you how to speak. It will teach you how to help that individual that you see having that mental health issue get some resources and get some help. So I think that's also an excellent way for many of us to continue to become mental health advocates is by taking the mental health first aid course.
Oh, awesome. All right. We'll put in that also in the chat notes. I'm going to go to the chat here. Ed Campbell says we also love horses. And he says facts. We heal in community. We stay traumatized when we isolate. And he says loves that profound statement that says we heal in community.
We do.
So our call to action today is going to say this, and I'd like all the parents to know that you need to talk to your kids and your loved ones as well. So lovers also, you need to talk to each other. Normalize checking in. Ask a Therapy Mondays is one of those things that you can go in and ask the questions. They are able to help you out. And there could be somebody else that you can ask a question. Also, support Black therapists and advocacy organizations, because if you don't support them, then we're not giving them grace to be able to help us out, because we need them. We need faces like us to represent us, because they are culturally aware of what we are going through.
Yes.
And when you know a background, you can kind of tell and assist better. Also, share this episode with someone. They may need it, or they may not know about it, but they may hear about it, and then listening to it, they may pick something from it. Actually, I did have some good reviews over the last show, the one that we did, Jen, the A1C and me. They were rave reviews, and I had people telling me, hey, you know what? That made a call to action for me to start my health journey back again, to be healthy.
Listen, thank you for that episode.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great things. And last thing is, hey, follow Woke by Accident and Sambaza Podcast for more resources and future episodes on mental health and empowerment. We do have past episodes, which Denise, you've been through. And that's pretty much what we can do. Follow us. We give you more information. And Denise, here, you're available. Maybe to finish up, tell us about your practice and again, what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So my practice is based out of Tampa, Florida, and we see our individuals in person or virtual. We are private pay, and we also accept insurance here. And one of the things that we do besides our community events that I mentioned, the third Saturday of every month, we have an art group at one of the local art galleries. That's also free, and we have some snacks there as well. It's like an art therapy group. So there's a topic, there's art that we do, and again, one of those other community healing somatic things that we do as well, holistic. We also have a coaching group coming up.
Oh. Check. Oh. Okay, there we go.
I don't know why it stops working. Maybe I was talking too much. Where did I leave off?
Oh, with the community coaching.
Snacks. I remember.
No. The coaching.
So I apologize. Technology hasn't been great with me. I don't know why it doesn't like me. Every third Saturday, we have an art group at our local art gallery here in Ybor City at Marcolina's. So you come in, you can color, you can paint, you can make signs, you can do whatever is the activity of the day, and we can talk, because it's also great to color and do some art and talk about what's going on with you. Our coaching group that's coming up is recovering from narcissistic abuse and abusive relationships or toxic relationships. So that could be romantic relationships with your family, with your parents, with your jobs. So we're going to have two different groups, one for all men and one for all women, because we know there are female perpetrators, and there's also male perpetrators. We only hear about the male perpetrators, but these female perpetrators, they're out there. And so that's why we're going to have a group for men and a group for women. And a group for men is going to be coached by men, and a group for women is going to be coached by women.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have that coming up too. So please just stay in touch and be on the lookout. So we're excited for everything that's happening and that's coming up.
Okay, we'll be sure to share those links. Thank you so much for sharing. Sambaza, final thoughts before we conclude?
Hey, we had a great show. I loved it. Whoever's watching on TikTok, thank you guys for showing up. Love you guys. Keep coming up. Today we're a bit early because of our guests, different time zones, but we appreciate you being able to show up. Every day at 8 Central Standard Time is when we usually run the show, Wednesdays. So thank you for joining in at this particular time. So with that, Jen, take us home.
Yes, and so again, we thank you guys for joining us. We hope that today's conversation has inspired and enlightened you. If you found today's episode meaningful, please consider sharing it with friends and family. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. We invite you to stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations in the future. We have a comment. You want to read it?
Yeah, this is so thorough, professional, and blacktastic.
Thank you. I'm gonna take blacktastic. We're like, I'm black.
Thank you, Brother Ed. Thank you to Brother Ed and all of the listeners and supporters. We appreciate you guys so much. You know, we definitely don't take it lightly. We definitely appreciate it for sure. So with that being said, we continue on. Stay with us, follow us. Check out for the audio episodes that will be coming soon with the show notes, including those special links. But everyone else, take care. Denise, stay with us. At this time, we're going to go ahead and conclude the episode. We greatly appreciate you listening. We invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. On Facebook, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. We also have the new website up, www.wokebyaccident.net. Please check us out. And also follow us on all of your favorite streaming platforms. And please leave a review and share feedback. You can also reach out by Gmail, wokebyaccident@gmail.com. And every time you listen, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening and take care.
Thank you.